Hi class, in this video I'm going to show you how to get the data ranges that you'll need to analyze the true stress and true strain. And that's going to be the data that is after yielding but before the ultimate stress. So it shouldn't be too hard to gather this data, but I'll show you how. So what's going to help us out is the fact that we've already, for each data set, you should have calculated the yield stress and the yield, or sorry, the ultimate tensile strength. Uh, and so what we can do here is remember what we did to calculate our yield stress was take the difference between our 2% or 0.2% offset line and our stress strain data. And then we did this match formula, which will be convenient because that will give us the index of where we get our yield strength from. So I'm going to actually add to this a cell that I'll call index. And let's go ahead and just borrow the formula since we've already typed most of it out. And that's this part here. It's this match min because we were searching for the number of the cell that was the minimum value from this delta. I'm going to press escape after I've pressed Control C. And then you go ahead and type in here that same formula. So that's going to give me cell 233. But what we did, we started this formula from row 10. So what I actually need to do so I can match this, what we want to do is match this to the actual rows on our sheet. So just go ahead and type in 9 plus that value. And then go ahead and copy this formula. Okay, and so that basically will tell me that on row 242, that's where my yield stress was. And that's actually where I need to start collecting my data from for the true stress and true strain. And then for this tensile strength, which actually isn't the ultimate tensile strength, it's just the maximum load before we started unloading our specimen, which is the set of data that we want. I'd also like to get that index. So I'm going to paste in that formula we just used, but then go ahead and change this cell. So basically, we now need to be looking at the stress, and instead of the min, we need the max. So where that matches the max. And this basically tells me that I need to get the data between row 242 and row 437. So now that we know the data we want to collect, what I'm going to go ahead and do is add a new sheet. Let's move that all the way to the very end. And let's label this true stress and strain data. And what I'm going to put here is engineering strain from all of the consecutive tests. I'll go ahead and put in engineering stress. Okay, and now that I've got my columns ready to paste in my data, I need to go ahead and actually find the data that I want. And unfortunately, you could sort of get really clever and try to automate this, but I think it'll be faster if you just use these rows to go ahead and get your data. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way down, and actually maybe this is a good idea to freeze this so that you don't lose those rows. So go ahead and go to View, and let's freeze panes. That way that I can see those indexes as I try to scroll down. So I'm going to be taking from 242, and let's just double check. So does that actually match our yield strength value? And it does. So that's good that we know that we got the right, we're gathering the right indexes. So go ahead and scroll all the way down. And I know I need to 242, go all the way to 437. Almost there. And there it is. And you'll see that actually also matches up with my tensile strength, so that's quite nice. So press Control C. And go ahead and go to your true stress strain and paste that data in. Oh, and actually, so I'm glad I did this error. So it's going to give me an error. And so Control Z, you actually have to go back, make sure I've copied this data in. What I need to do is just paste the values. So right click on the top cell and then just paste the values because I don't want this to be linked to any formulas I used. Okay. And so I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this process for each data set. So I'm going to go ahead and just label this so I know that I'm gathering the index. We're going to steal this match formula, which was so nice for us. And remember that we have to add 9, so it's 9 plus that. And then I'm going to copy and paste this again. But we need to change this to a max. And then move this over to our stress. Okay, and that will tell me the data I need to copy from. So I need to go down to cell 278, take the strain, and this time I need to take the cycle 1 strain and the cycle 1 stress. So make sure you're not copying the strain and stress, which was calculated from the cross-sectional area before the test. It needs to be using the cycle 1 stress and strain. So go ahead, go to 278. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way down to 466. And press Control and down so I get all the way to the bottom of this. And I'm just going to go ahead. And you know what I might do? I might just highlight this just so that I know that's where the data range started from the next set of the data. So go ahead and paste. Oh, and remember, I just did it again, to paste values. So make sure you go ahead and right click, paste values. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and repeat this process for trial 3, 4, 5, and 6. And once you've aggregated all that data sets together, of course, what you'll need to do is calculate the true strain and true stress. So remember that our true strain formula was the natural log of 1 plus the engineering strain. So go ahead and double click and take that formula all the way down. And then our engineering stress was the true stress times 1 plus the engineering strain. And this is the data set that you'll be using to analyze the last two plots. Okay, thanks for watching.